Today, I am super excited to introduce you to my special guest, Carmel-Anne, and she'll be talking all about her wonderful tarot journey and what it really means to be a certified Biddy tarot advisor. So welcome, Carmel. It's great to have you here.
Thank you, Bridget. It's an amazing experience. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So a little bit about Carmel-Anne. She is obviously a certified Biddy tarot advisor, and she's also the visionary founder of Soulfully Guided, Soulfully Guided, and she's also an internationally acclaimed tarot reader. So Carmel-Anne and I are going to be chatting about her tarot journey and what has led her to really create the business and the tarot reading service that she's had today. And, you know, she's even received awards. Like, it's amazing what Carmel-Anne has been able to achieve throughout this journey. So with all of that said, let's just dive right in. And I would love to hear a little bit more about how your journey with tarot began, what drew you to these beautiful cards.
Well, I'd say if anyone's interested in doing your business course, I would highly recommend it because, Bridget, you were the first person that showed up when I showed a small amount of curiosity towards tarot. And I'd bought this deck 6 months earlier, and it just spoke to my soul, and I didn't know what journey I was going to be embarking on. Your courses and your Biddy Tarot seemed to provide everything I needed, and I didn't realize I was starting not just a course, but the rest of my life. So I was really inspired by your course, and you not only created the best tarot reader in me, but you also you contributed to creating the best version and most healed version of myself, because exploring tarot, I was able to explore myself.
That's really powerful. And, you know, it's something I've really connected with recently is, you know, yes, we teach tarot, but ideally we're creating this personal transformation for me. That was for our students, not for me, but for our students. I'm curious, like, what role has the tarot played in your life, particularly when it comes to like your personal growth and development?
Okay, so along with the healing, I started to learn boundaries, and I started to learn in your FTR, your free tarot reading section, where you build the courage to give readings to people all around the world. You start to develop an understanding of life through the tarot, which displays all of life's experiences in various ways. And I started to realize that I was really good at giving advice, and I should probably take that advice. And so I was able to explore my feelings, my past, and any challenges I've faced, and turn that into a platform for something really positive. And where I lacked, where I lacked in life and the support I needed, I was able to offer that to other people. And opening up that awareness, whether you call it a spiritual awakening or a dark night of the soul, I think it's called. But it was a really challenging awakening for me. But finally, through learning tarot and doing the Biddy certification, I started showing up for myself in a way I'd never done before. I explored the good and the bad about decisions I'd made, actions I'd taken, and I realized I really wasn't where I wanted to be in life. So I began learning that in epic speed through COVID and realized that I wanted more. And I created an environment where I was able to, through tarot, become my best self, forgive myself, forgive others, and learn to share that with other people. And not only did my dream of starting tarot start with you, you don't realize the depth, and that continues on long after the course. I've been able to secure my dream home, and it's incredible. I wouldn't have been able to achieve that unless I understood myself best. And if I didn't understand myself, I also wouldn't be able to give that quality advice to other people.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. the concept around first understanding yourself so that you can serve others. What does that journey look like for you to deepen your understanding of yourself? And at what point did you realize, okay, I think I actually am ready to be able to help others?
Okay. It wasn't pretty. There were some people said I was isolating myself, but I believed I was reinventing myself. I wish I could say I chose to do that, but everything sort of fell in place around me where enough was enough and I needed to start showing up for myself. It meant it was the loneliest time of my life because what I settled for before I no longer accepted. And it wasn't easy. And I think choosing happiness is not about luck or things coming your way. It's about making the most difficult decisions of your life. And that's where I was when I found you, or you found me, and with your excellent marketing. So, and sorry, I forgot your other question. I got lost in.
Yeah, no, I think this is great because, you know, a lot of people do experience that time of a lot of introspection and realizing that in order to live this so-called dream life, which, you know, on Instagram it looks great, oh, you're really happy, rainbows and so on. But actually, just like you've shared, you do have to make some really tough decisions and you do have to release a lot so that you can open up the space to welcome in things that are more aligned. At what point did you realize you were able to take what you had learned on your personal journey and then be able to support others with tarot cards?
Okay. I would have to say there was a huge level of support in your tarot community that you provide as part of the course with your membership. You know, I started asking questions on the platform, and people gave really good responses that encouraged me. And some of those responses I now offer to other people that are interested in reading tarot or exploring. And, you know, people were really supportive. They were like-minded and on their own, you know, stage of their journey. But someone said, if you're asking these questions, then you're ready. So I did over 50 readings on the Biddy platform where you offer students to practice and give free readings. And I had a 5-star rating and my heart went into that. And, you know, you and your team really acknowledged that, especially in the assessment process. And it was a platform, it was a foundation that really strengthened the quality of readings that I give, because I then went on to start my business all on impulse as well. So, and we now still continue that 5-star service and 5-star rating, but we've also won awards for it. So,
yeah, that's fantastic. But yeah, let's explore that a little bit more. So tell me about Soulfully Guided and what you offer through your business, and then tell me a bit about these amazing awards that you've won.
So I did my certification. I finished it in 2020. So it's now 2024. And I was awarded in 2022, I was awarded Hoinzer's so I got 100 top 100 queens of 2022 and the top 30 visionary figures of 2022. And then in 2023, I was discovered. I wasn't looking for this, and I never understood it would be a direction my spiritual business would take. And I was told I was shortlisted for an award, and I thought, oh, this is a scam. And, you know, it sounded way too good to be true. So In 2023, I was awarded Australia's most compassionate spiritualist and tarot reader, and it was actually an Australasian Business Award. So to be recognised in the business industry is a huge advancement for spirituality, and it went through a judge of top business panels who scrutinised all the applicants. And it was a performance-based award. So how you'd been performing in your business, not just for that moment, but for its entirety. So it was, yeah, and it created huge, like there was an international press release and they made it the most incredible article about me. And I had to step back because, you know, I think for me, and my advice to people would be, don't try and get over being nervous, because you'll always be expanding outside the box. So rather than stop trying to be nervous, learn to be comfortable with being nervous, because opportunities are going to continue coming to you and you're slowly going to step out of that comfort zone bit by bit. So the award opened up a huge world for me that I wasn't even looking for. And it was an incredible experience. And I don't think it will be my last one either.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations. That sounds amazing. And tell me a bit more about like what were some of those like new doors that were opened up as a result of receiving this award?
So my business began to get busier. I was listed internationally through the award. So it was an APAC award, Asia Pacific based award. So it opened me up to business sectors, to people that maybe had never explored tarot or being psychic and were requesting readings. I was able to start a radio and TV show, and that was amazing. So, and but as the business is developing, I'm realizing that I'd like to zone in on what I'm actually able to do and start expanding on my growth phase. So the award created a growth phase in my business, and I realized that I can't be everyone and everything everywhere. So it really helped me to zone in on my goals and the demographic of people I'm a good fit for, but are also a good fit for me. So it gave me growth. It gave me it, you know, it was a moment where I had to reflect and think, wow, I did this because things seem to be going so slow. We're in an oversaturated industry with many amazing, talented and gifted spiritualists. And I realized in that moment where people were calling me an expert and I had to catch up with their perception and think, actually, yes, I'm an expert. So it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think really being at that growth edge. So being okay to receive the things that feel like, oh, is this really me? But then embracing that. You know, you talked earlier about being okay with being a bit nervous, and maybe this felt like a bit of a growth edge too, by accepting the award and then having a TV show. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you that you had the TV show as well. But I think, you know, the magic in there is that you said yes to it. You didn't run away from it. You actually went straight into it. And that has just expanded your success and your growth as a reader. I would love to hear a little bit about your style, because before we jumped on this call, you were sharing with me that it's a little bit different to the usual tarot reading style, a little bit more scientific. I heard words like analysis. So tell me more about your unique tarot style.
So what I loved about studying your course is that, like I said, we get to find ourselves and deliver our service, because we all offer a unique service. But throughout my life, I studied a lot, and whilst I don't apply, you know, I'm not what I studied while I'm offering my readings, but I believe I have an analytical mind, but a spiritual heart. So in my readings with people, we talk about card analysis and cross analysis, and we deeply explore, or we explore people's deeper self. So we get to the core of, we don't just give quick fixes for your questions, we provide solutions to problems. And I'm a little bit stubborn. I don't want to admit that publicly, but only when it comes to tarot. So when people have a question, rather than simply tell them what to do because our values are different, I'll say, let's run a card analysis, and I'll ask the same question in various ways to see if themes emerge and the answers are consistent across the questions and what challenges occur. And we also run card cross analysis when people have various options available to them in their life, and or choices, and we look at, rather than telling people what to do, we simply unpack and dissect the aspects of those opportunities by saying, well, this is option A and this is how it looks. This is option B, this is how it looks, or this is option C. And we cross-check that against and I reflect on how it looks through the eyes of tarot and psychically, and they're able to choose what fits them best. But also sometimes other options come in, or let's mix a bit of A and B together. So it is sometimes on random occasions we look at probability and we'll throw in it looks like there's about a 50% chance of that happening if we do this, this and that. So it does have a scientific spin. I've not seen other people do that before, and I'd love to, if anyone does, I'd love to hear about it. But it just packs and values everything I've learned throughout my life, academically as well as spiritually, because I thought, well, I've got this scientific mind but this spiritual heart, and I thought they had to be in separate worlds. But learning the tarot with confidence gave me the inspiration and the power to, as I started to develop and learn about myself and heal. And I thought, why not combine those two worlds to provide really groundbreaking advice and find my own magical spark within the industry?
I love it. Yes. And I think that is something that I share a lot, like with our students and even our business students. It's just finding that actual, like a blend. Whether it's tarot and other modalities, or finding your unique like magic as a reader. So for you, it's that spirituality meets kind of scientific. For me, it might be spirituality meets business. Like there's things that make us really stand out, and that's our sweet spot that we do so well that not many other people do the same way that we do it. So I think that's really huge. I'm curious if you would have an example of a client, obviously keeping their details private and so on, but where you've been able to really support someone maybe making a difficult decision or needing to weigh up different options using this approach.
So I have clients that have stuck with me since, I first started charging for readings. I have people that randomly, clients that will randomly message, or when I make a post and they'll say that I saved them from themselves or from other people or situations. Someone that really reflected everything that Soulfully Guided stands for was someone that was going through a really hard time, and just say this without giving too much information, they were really stuck, and they felt that the quality of their lives depended on a relationship that no longer existed in their life, and it was quite daunting. And they were losing passion and focus and motivation for life. And they message me every once in a while, or I'll message them, and they say, I'm working, I'm going out and having fun, I'm being a really good parent. Not that they weren't a good parent before, but they weren't able to connect because someone had so much grasp on their happiness that was no longer in their life. So their world completely turned around. And, you know, as messengers and readers, we don't take those actions. We merely suggest them and connect from our soul to their soul. And I always have to reinstate that I was just there to support you, but you've done all the hard work after. So there are lots of, you know, I tend to get a lot of skeptics as well. And I say, well, I'm not here to prove what I can do for you, but I can show you what I can do as a service like everyone else. And they walk out really happy. And, you know, there's a different grasp on life as well. So it's not just, you know, significant life-changing and improving qualities, because we also offer psychic and tarot inspired life coaching for those needing more attention over a longer, and, you know, more support over a longer period of time. But we're also getting people that had once never believed that this was possible. And you know, if we read their photo or we read their cards and they think, well, I only recently said that last week, how do you know that? So it's incredible for the industry, but also knowing that I'm getting something right, and the changes that I was able to make in my life, I can reflect in someone else's perspective that's relevant to them, so they too can have a platform and a foundation to make those changes they need to make. We also record readings. I believe that's part of a service, as a service provider I offer. And because of the depth of readings and the, you know, the improvements, I think I always recommend a reading. And I say to people, I always recommend a recording, and I'll do that for them with their permission, because I'd rather them have the reading and not want it than not have it and want it. So that's a little extra twist we give, because it is, you know, in connecting with my deepest self and facing my greatest fears and challenges, we then are able to honestly and nurturingly pass that service and that gift to other people. And that's what I do.
Yeah, fantastic. It was so amazing how you've been able to have that sort of transformative impact on others, but also really like the idea of being more of that conduit, more of a facilitator, a guide to the process, rather than the kind of all-knowing oracle or, you know, the hero. Really, it's the customer and the client that's the hero that can transform their lives, and you're just the one that's able to kind of nudge them and guide them along the way. And it must just bring so much fulfillment and purpose in what you do. I'm curious, you know, being a certified Biddy Tarot advisor, what role do you think, having had that certification and the training, what role does that play in your ability now to serve your clients?
That is huge. So there is no reason, there's no doubt why you're leading the industry in your courses. You did not only teach the tarot, you laid really strong foundations about knowledge around tarot and reading confidently, providing platforms where we can talk as a community, where we can practice our readings and get to a point where we say, hey, I'm ready to be a professional reader. I didn't know when I was signing up for your course, it was only the beginning, that so much more was to come. You know, I don't think without those really strong foundations and the ability to keep those courses, because I have 2 children, but when I get some downtime, I will be reviewing the course, because we're able to keep it for life. And, you know, it's like watching a movie a second time. You take that little bit more in. So you are the top of my top 3 mentors in the whole of my spirituality journey. And I don't see myself having gotten to this point without your course. Maybe a version of it, but where we talk about my ability and my acknowledgement and the process that it took for me to heal as a person. But as a Biddy certified tarot reader, I hold my badge proudly, and on my website and all my correspondence, you'll see it in the background here. It's usually in a frame, but I took it out for today. It shaped my future. I didn't know that I was signing up to a course that would open my whole world up to a better version of me and provide a service around the world that would also help people become a better them. And I honestly, I couldn't, I did it. I learnt the course and how I interpreted the content. I really delved into it. I did really well with assessment, and I know I did the work, but without that foundation, I don't believe I would have come this far or this would have been possible.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you and so excited for what you've created. And thank you so much for your kind words too about the program and the training and so on. I'm so curious about like what's next for you. What do you see in the next 12 months or so with your tarot reading practice and your business?
So I would really like to continue a growth stage and consistently be busy, learn to market myself and actually own what I can do proudly and with confidence and not sort of reserved or timid. I'm really aiming and really striving to, over the next few years, to start events. And there'll be tarot reading events and psychic reading events, and where I present in front of a group of people. So we have one coming up in June in Geelong, and then we have another one coming up in September in Dalesford. And I would really like that to be a source of income and experience where I can have holidays around, firstly Victoria, then maybe build to Australia. And my ultimate goal, which I don't say very often, but if I put it out there, let's do it. I'd love to be a well-known reader and a public figure in the industry and provide global events in person and online, and just travel and do reading events and connecting with people in the way that we do, but live. And so we, again, impulsively thought, let's do this and let's worry about everything else afterwards. So we have an event coming up, as I said, in June in Geelong, and that'll be our first debut. And I'm really excited. I would like that to be the direction of Soulfully Guided, but I would also like to continue giving the one-on-one services as well.
That's awesome. And yeah, I'm really holding the space for that vision to really come true. I think that anything is possible. And the more that you can keep bringing that vision out through your words, your actions, your intentions, it will just continue to create more and more power and magic and come to fruition. It's awesome. Where can people start to find out more about you and Soulfully Guided? Can you share some of your links?
Thank you, Bridget. So I'm Soulfully Guided Carmel-Anne is the link to our Facebook and our Instagram, and our website is soulfullyguided.com. We are generally mostly on Facebook, and our website is the cornerstone of all our services. You'll find everything there from our events where I'm guest appearancing at, and also details of our service. Each service is listed with a nice description, which is not your traditional spiritual way of explaining a tarot reading. It's our sciencey spirituality. And we also have a code of ethics, if anyone's interested, which you have really eloquently shaped that's important, which you'll come to know is very important on a website. But that's where you can find us. So our website is soulfullyguided.com, and most of our accounts we have are at Soulfully Guided Carmel-Anne.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, make sure you check it out and just have a look around and see the amazingness that Carmel-Anne has been able to create. And yeah, just thank you so much for sharing your story today. We really love celebrating our students and everything that they have created. Just, I guess, final words, what would you say to someone who might be considering becoming a certified Biddy tarot reader?
I would say don't think twice about it. And we often think that we're taking a risk when we do something new. And if you shift that and take a leap of faith into you, trust your intuition, go with it, and you won't regret it.
Awesome. Great advice there. No, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm wishing you every success in, what unfolds for you over the next few years with Soulfully Guided. So thank you so much for being a guest here and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me here as well, Bridget. I really appreciate it and enjoy myself.
Hey, if you loved this video, then make sure you check out this next video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.